Hey chicks, let's chat. So listen, so today, before I head out, I just wanted to just stop in and chat with y'all for a little bit, right? So you know what? I don't know. To this, like the start of the weekend, been a little bit rough, right? For some reason, it's like I'm thinking about old things. I don't know. It's just a little shaky, right? But anyways, what was on my mind today to speak on is, you know, giving and being a giver. I think that's a big part of our life, and I think that sometimes we miss out on a lot of things because we're so used to, and we have been programmed to think about what we can get, you know, what's coming to us, what we can go get. But if there's ever a real key, you know, or at least a key to success, I really believe that it's in being a giver, because you can't go wrong with that when you're doing it the right way, when you're giving out of, you know, really and truly from your heart, really and truly from a place where you're able to do it, really and truly because you want to do it, you have a desire just to do it. You're not, your motives are right, you know. I have seen the blessings in that. And that's why I just encourage you today to, you know, some people have a block on their heart. Like they're just not that type of person, you know, and then there's other people who they would love to do it, but it makes them uncomfortable sometimes. They don't know when to do it, when they should do it. Will people start taking advantage of it? And all those things are, you know, they're very relevant. And will people take advantage of you being a giver? Yes. That's why you have to know when to do it, who to do it for, when not to do it, right? And just because you are a giver, it doesn't mean that you give to everybody. It doesn't mean you give every time somebody asks. It doesn't mean, you know, your name just up there as philanthropist of the year. You just give. If that's not, if your finances aren't set up to do that, and you're not being led by something bigger than the acknowledgement of that, that don't mean you just give, you know. But I have truly, like I said, I've seen my family be givers. You know, I seen my grandma be a big giver. I seen my aunts be a big giver. Sometimes it's not always material. Sometimes it's of time, right? I seen my dad be a big giver, you know. But then I seen other people be big takers, and I ain't gonna name them now. But I seen those who are on the take, on the please, can I have, please give me, you know. So you're always gonna have the opposite end of that spectrum. So you have to be mindful when you are like that. But any day of the week, I would rather be in position to give. That don't take nothing from me being a hustler, going out to get what's mine, what's there, what's right for the picking. I am that, you know, to the core. But I'm also big on, you know, making sure that once I go get the bag, I'm able to share the bag. Understand me? And I see a lot of times now, like on YouTube, where people are, you know, giving, they're givers, and they record it and stuff like that. And I have mixed feelings with regards to that. My thing is, if they ask the people, and the people say, yeah, that's one thing. But when they just doing it, and you know, the people looking any kind of way, they down bad, they in bad situations, I don't know that those people want you recording them. You know what I'm saying? At their lowest moment. I don't really feel comfortable with doing that, you know. And then some people say, well, you know, if they doing it, they shouldn't be recording it, and this, that, and the third. Well, listen, that's maybe part of that is their business, you know, and maybe that's how they get the money to be able to give it back. like I said, sometimes those people are at their lowest of lows, and if they have not consented to that recording, then my thing is always motive though. What's your reason for doing it? Now, a lot of times those people, they could be doing it for views, but at the same time, they could do a lot of things for views, right? They don't have to just go give a random person thousands of dollars or pay for this or pay for that for them just for views, right? It's a lot of things people do for views. A lot of lies people tell, a lot of whole bunch of everything people do for that, but when you coming out of your own pocket, for something, and it's no return on that investment, even though you may be recording it, you have to be led by something bigger for you to do that, because you could give your money to anybody. You could go, you got family members you could give money to, if that's all you want to do. If you just want to give something out, So even though they may be, they may be going about it in the wrong way sometimes, but I think that, anytime you see a person with a heart to give and a heart to want people to do better, want people to have a little more, I feel like that's a good start, We quick to throw people away and to misjudge them, because they're not doing all of it right. But maybe they have the foundation right, and maybe they're building on that. Maybe one day they're going to really get it right, right? So I said all that just to, I wanted to share some of the ways that, through the years that I have given, because I want to encourage other people to do the same. So it's a women's and children's shelter that I frequent often, and by frequenting, I mean I just drop clothes off constantly. I'm there at least twice out the month. It feels like, especially in the last couple of months. But that is my that's the place that I pick to give. Why? Because it's women there, it's children there. If children there, that means you got teenagers there, teenage girls, other women who could utilize what I'm giving, which a lot of times it's things that I wear. Sometimes I wear things one time and never wear them again, just because maybe I don't like the way it look, or maybe, just anything, and sometimes I do something else with those clothes, just depending on what they are. Sometimes I go and sell them back, like a Play Those Closet Clothes mentor or something like that. Sometimes I do that. It just depends on what it is. But usually, every time I go in, I have a bag or something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not giving away like stuff that's garbage, that's trash. Like, no, I don't do that. Because I do throw stuff in the trash too. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that I feel like, oh, that's a no-no, or it's overworn, or it's overwashed or something, like, I don't try to give people stuff like that. I don't like that. I like to give people stuff that if they want it out the bag when they take it, they can wash it and then they can put it right on if I'm gonna do that. Other things that I really like to do, or that I have done, like a plethora of stuff, like and that's not to I ain't riding in no horses or savior, I ain't none of that, but I look for opportunities to give back. That's something I do. I look for an opportunity for me to show up, for the God in me to show up for these people. You know what I'm saying? And whatever, especially when it's a situation where I'm in dope girl status and I got a pocket full of money, because for some reason, I like to have money, so when I have it on me and I have extra, somebody finna get blessed. I can tell you that. One day I'm going to my grandma's house, just riding up the street. I see it's hot. I see a girl and she got a kid. I'm assuming that's her kid or whatever. I don't know if she the auntie, cousin, whatever. But boom, I just pulled over. I was like, hey, put something in her hand. Hey, go get a little girl something to eat or whatever. Stuff like that. Stuff like paying for the car behind me, whatever their food is. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going through drive-through or Dunkin' Donuts, simple little stuff in the morning, you know, or any time of day. I've done that a few times. Being in Publix, I don't think I ever did it in any other store but Publix. Paid for the person in front of me and or waited and paid for the person in back of me. And what I notice about people is that a lot of times people be so shocked at kindness. A lot of people don't even know how to take it, how to just accept it, thank you, and that's it. They be like, no, no, no. And I'm like, no, it's fine. It's cool. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that showed me a lot, you know, because a lot of times it's people too who are givers who have a hard time taking stuff too. You know what I'm saying? But other times people feel like, hey, they must want something. This must be a scam. This must be fake or something like that. And no, not always. You know, it's times when I know I had like some comforters and stuff at my house that I was getting ready to get rid of, because usually when I get new comforters, I would give away the old ones, because where I'm gonna put all these different comforters at? You know what I'm saying? So I get rid of them. So I was riding, you know, kind of like through the hood, and I see like a makeshift little tent area or whatever, look like somebody sleep there, right? So I was like, okay, it was like kind of cool around this time. So I was like, okay, that's who gonna get them comforters, instead of me just taking them, you know, to a Salvation Army or anywhere, you know. I'm gonna take it back to this homeless man. So boom, that's what I did. Got them comforters. I took 2 of them, and just so happened when I pulled up, you know, now I ain't gonna lie, I'm very careful when I approach homeless people. Because why? Because I know a lot of times they dealing with mental illness. So I ain't gonna say I be scared, but I'm just saying I be careful, right? So I pull up, you know, I don't really see nobody. So I just real quick take the 2 comforters. They clean, they fresh, they smell good, and I just put them, you know, on the little side or whatever. It just so happened some people was across the street at the time, and it was like, God gonna bless you, God. I was like, listen, he already have, you know. And I believe that, you know. And me, I just wanted to kind of see, you know. So I came back a couple days later, and guess what? That man was on that ground with one of my comforters right over him. And I was like, okay, good. That he needed that. You know what I'm saying? You sometimes, you know, you may never, you know, you may never get the thank you from certain people because you don't know them. You don't know them, they don't know you. You may not ever get a thank you or this, that, or third. But the reality is that you're not doing it for that, neither. You're not doing it for the thank you. But the other day I made a video and I was saying, when you can thank people, you do that. And when you could do more than a dry thank you, you do that too. I stand on that, you know, but all the times you're not going to get a thank you. All the times but just because you don't get the verbal thank you or a physical thank you, it doesn't always mean that the people you did what you did for are not thankful. Now, I feel like they're not thankful when they in position to thank you, or they in position for, you know, you to thank you verbally or to thank you physically, or, you know, an opportunity presents where you can be thanked physically or compensated, and they don't want you to have that. Those are the people I don't think they're really thankful for the stuff that you do, as I said in my other video. But there are people that they may never say, y'all may never run across each other. But here's the thing, you know when you have something that people need, and when you are able to release that, freely give it, intentionally give it, purposely give it, ain't nothing better than that. What's better than that? Another time I pulled into like I say, I'll be intentionally looking for stuff, especially during the times where I have a lot of extra, right? I pulled into a place to get my computer fixed, right? I was taking a little laptop there or something. And it was a man in the parking lot, straight sleeping on the ground, on the concrete. Like, no pillow, no nothing. I'm like, wow. How tired you got to be on the concrete, face on, like, what in the world? So, boom. Another time, like, in transition, kind of like, because I'm staying at one of my friends' houses, because I had just moved out of my home and rented it out, right? So I had a little extra right at that time, right? So I was like, you know what? Got some stuff, got some stuff. I was like, I'm gonna take him a pillow, I'm gonna take him a blanket, and I'm gonna take him something to eat. I don't know this man. I just know he was muscle was tired to death the way he was sleeping on that concrete when I pulled up. So I was like, I'm gonna take this to him later. So when I went back to the same area, he wasn't there. So I was like, okay, somebody finna get this. And maybe it just wasn't meant for me to bless him. So I go back to like the downtown area of Orlando, because that's why my homegirl had a house in that area, and that's why I was living with her at that time. So I'm like, okay, I know where a lot of homeless people be at. So boom, I hit it on, I think that was Central. Pulled up. There was two men out there. One was like laying on the ground. The other one was like sitting on the ground. So I pulled up, pulled out the little blanket, covers, all of that, pillow, and then I gave him the food. I was like, hey, share it with him too. That man woke up so fast when he seen me giving that one man. He got up and I was like, man, you know, it be so many people in need that ain't nowhere in the world. If you in position and you eating every day, you have a comfortable home, like it's no way in the world you should not be giving back. You hear me? Like, I don't know how you could comfortably see certain things and don't act on it. Like, especially when you can, you know what I'm saying? And it's a good feeling, you know. It's a good feeling to be able to give, you know. And I tried to teach my nephew this at a young age, because I knew he was gonna come up kind of privileged to me, because he coming at a time when, you know, things are plentiful, you know. He was the first grandkid, so there's a level of privilege that come with that, in some situations. And so I was like, okay, we're gonna go and we're gonna pass out food at the park, because it's a central park here called Lake Yolan, and a lot of homeless people live there. So I went to McDonald's. I got like a bunch of, and I ain't saying that's the best thing or whatever, but the point was to give these people something simple and quick that they could eat. I bought a bunch of chicken sandwiches and a bunch of like cheeseburgers. And we went around the park giving them out. And here's the thing. That right there, that taught me in that moment, like, it's stuff we take for granted that people be glad about. I'm like, I don't even know how to eat McDonald's. Like, I go to McDonald's, like, I order some fries, I order me a high C punch. I think they have the best Coca-Cola. And if I'm, you know, really, I do a fish fillet sometimes and maybe a nugget. Like, McDonald's be like my last option, because I don't really be want to eat that type of food. I be really want to eat better, you know what I'm saying? But I will, and I do. So, hey, I'm like, if I eat it, it's good enough, you know? So, I went and got, you know, as much as I could get of that, and we went around the park passing them out, and them people was like, oh, this McDonald's? And I was like, what? You know, but that just show you how sometimes you can really be so far removed from stuff that you don't even understand that this may be a big deal to somebody, and this may be pennies to you. You know what I'm saying? And it just show you you can be more far removed from something than you actually even know. And I believe that's what's really wrong with a lot of stuff that goes on. People are so far removed that they don't even have a clue of the struggles that some people are really having. The things that are struggles to them, they have either never experienced it, or it's been so long they don't even remember the feeling of those struggles. You know what I'm saying? And what else? Now, during that same period of time, like I said, I was living with my homegirl. My homegirl have a Habitat house, and unless it's a Habitat neighborhood. A lot of times what happens with Habitat is they get land in the inner city. The city either gives it to them or they buy it for the low. A lot of times the city would give them that. And then they build homes over there. So a lot of times you will see Habitat houses in low income areas, or, you know, low income, high crime, the hood, whatever you want to call it. Now if you look up and, you know, you get a Habitat house that's not there, but a lot of times when they were, that's where they were, you know, building them at, and that's where they do build them at. So anyways, my homegirl had beautiful home, beautiful, nice layout, and it was just her. So I went over there after I rented my house out, and until I got ready to move where I live now. So I didn't know how long I was gonna be there, but I figured like a couple months. But anyways, next to my homegirl house was the trap house, right? So, you know, it was very interesting, you know, because I ain't really lived by a trap house in a long time. At least not one that I knew of. And this one was like a, you know, all day, all night kind of thing, you know. Old school house on bricks, wooden house, like the country houses. But it's in the city, so it just like, it's just like it don't belong. But it's there, and they trapping, and they doing everything, drugging and everything, you know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is, right? It didn't bother me. They ain't bother me. It didn't bother me. But while I was there, you know, I used to, it was before I was working from home. So every morning I'm getting up, going to work, you know. So one thing about them, you know what I'm saying? One thing about people, I try to be respectful to them, because respect is big to me. I don't care what it is that you're doing in life, how low you may be. A hello, how you doing, that go far. And I'm never too good for that. If I don't speak to you, I don't care nothing about you. Now, it is a few people that maybe fits, that's on that list. But just random, everyday, hey, listen, you gonna get that from me. You know what I'm saying? How you doing? You know, and a lot of, you know, like it was some girls that used to be in the house, you know, and they was young. They were younger than me, but they was strung out on drugs, or they was either tricking or something like that, you know. And, you know, but I still observed them. I paid attention to them, you know. And a lot of times I might come out and they'll be like, hey, good morning, have a good day. You look nice. I like that wig, or, you know, whatever, you know. And I appreciate that. You know, they don't have to say nothing, you know. So hey, give back to them, you know, thank you, boo, you know, have a good day, etc. and so forth. So then some just, you know, like God, you know, it was just like, you know what, I'm here. While I'm here, I could have been anywhere, but I'm here, and I have to look at this every single day. Surely it's something I can do. Like, I feel like it's a reason that I'm here, and it's a reason that I'm seeing this every day, you know. And I was like, so I started, like, you know, I slowly but surely started getting up a bag of stuff. You know, I had just bought like a lot of stuff, a lot of toothpastes, toothbrushes, you know, because I always like to have extra stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? In my home, anyways, if people come over, I always got extra toothbrush. I always got extra toothpaste. Always extra. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I just bought this guy. I was intending on, you know, taking this with my move, like, but he's saying, no, that's going over there to that house. So boom, next thing you know, I start getting up all kind of stuff. I'm like, man, I got so many wigs, it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm putting everything together, just going through all my little stuff. And I had just moved, so I thought I had downsized. But I still end up taking a lot of stuff to my friend girl house that I'm like, I could give this away. You know what I'm saying? So I got up everything from soap to lingerie that I don't wear no more. You know, just everything you could think of, I had in that bag. And it was like it was real big. But I'm also very mindful that, you know, everybody don't like hand-me-downs. Everybody don't want your old stuff, etc. so forth, you know. So I'm mindful when I say, hey, you know, I have some things, you know, you could take a look at them if you want them. You know, I don't just, here, girl, come get this, you know, like, as if you don't have anything and you just have to have my stuff. No, I'm mindful. And I was like, hey, I have some things, you know, you can take a look at them or whatever. So much stuff in that. But when I say she was like, oh yeah, I'll take, you know. And I'm like, I had enough stuff in there that she could share with other people. You know what I'm saying? So listen, she was so happy. She was so happy, from the wigs to everything. She really appreciated that. I don't know her like that, you know, other than, hey, I'm staying here, you know, and I think I stayed there maybe like 3 months, you know, so I'm seeing y'all, you know, on the day-to-day when y'all come around, you know, same household. I'm like, you know what? I don't know why. Like, let me buy some food. Let me go get some Popeyes. And sometimes it was like able-bodied people. I don't know if they was trapping. I don't know if they had a low-key drug habit or something, because some of them look just like regular. But I'm like, hey, listen, some food, you know, y'all want some, you know. I know I intentionally bought it for them, but I'm still asking if they want it, you know, because like I say, I don't just push it on you like, hey, you know. They're like, yeah, you know. I was like, all right, well, make sure the old man up there gets some too, you know, because at that time it was like an older man. He used to be sitting on the porch all day, you know. So I'm like, it's plenty of ways that you can show up and bless people, you know what I'm saying? And I just think, like, you know, you can't think that you're ever too good, or you're ever better than, because life can change in the blink of an eye and you be that person. You understand me? And I'm very mindful of that. You know, and not to mention that, you know, like I said, these young girls that they own drugs and they tricking. You know what I'm saying? And one girl told me that she had, I don't know how many kids, but they ain't over there with her, so that means somebody has her kids, or they in the foster care system or something. You know what I'm saying? So that even more touched me. Like, man, you know. And I'm just like, you know, some things, like when I'm doing them, especially like if it's for like the community of like people who have addictions and stuff like that. You know, I come from a mom who had addiction, so I always feel like when I'm helping them, that's something she would want me to do too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm mindful of that, and I really like to move on that. You know, now I don't like to just put money in their hand. I don't like to do that. Even though I don't like to do that, but you know, I just feel like, you know, hey, I had a mom that was in that same situation, fighting those same vices, you know. The other day I was getting a sub, and the man, he said, I don't want no money or nothing from you. He said, could you just buy me a lemonade? Sure, no problem, thank you. You ain't ask me for no money, because I ain't, that day I ain't really had that much money, you know what I'm saying, on me anyways. So I told the guy, hey, give me a large, what kind you want? He said the pink kind. Give me a large pink lemonade, give it him. You know, it's like it don't take nothing from you to be that type of person. And another time was a man sitting on the, like, he just like sitting on the side of the road, older man. I assumed he was homeless or something, you know. And I just was like, pulled my car up, had a little extra bread, here you go. When he looked at it, was a 50. You know, now I ain't gonna lie, when them people, when you be parked like at the light and them people be coming up, sometimes them people scare the mess out of me. You hear me? I'm not one that every time that I see people holding the thing, I give you, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, that's your hustle. So that, I don't partake a lot of times in that. I ain't even gonna lie. I see them and I don't see them. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that's your hustle. And that's not to say you don't need it. But like I say, I'm mindful of when I give, how I give, where I give, when I'm led to give. I'm always mindful of that, you know. So yeah, it's just, you know, my whole life is going to be like that. I'm going to be that person, you know. And the more I have, probably the more I will continue to give. I don't see it being any different, you know. Now I do feel like, you know, for me, I want to make sure that, you know, as I mature in life and finances and stuff like that, that, you know, I don't just overly purchase stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I still want to be a giver. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's of my things, rather it's of, just meeting the need. Um, that's just how I am, who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I probably told this story before, even when I was like working for, I was a Head Start teacher. I met the little girl, and I was like, oh, Dad, like, I'm telling my dad, like, hey, this little girl, like, her mama got, another kid, and, I want to do something for her for Christmas, blah, blah, blah. My dad, like, all right, get her sizes or whatever, and we'll make that happen. And we did. And the little girl, she became like my favorite little girl. I wish I knew where she was today. But yeah, I ended up spending a lot of time with her. Now I did back off because I felt like her mom got used to the help. And then her mama one day asked me, are you gonna get her some school clothes? And I'm like, I just didn't feel like she should have asked me that. Like, I would have told you that I was gonna get her some more. I would have brought them over there some, but like, don't start depending on me to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like, I feel like people will start taking advantage of you sometimes. And maybe, when I look back on it, maybe it was innocent. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she felt like, hey, if she gonna get her something, then I could just focus on my other daughter. Maybe that's what it was. But I took a little offense when mom said that, so I kind of pulled back. You know what I'm saying? For a little while. But it's like every time I ran into her, if I ran into her in the city or whatever, and I could be anywhere, she want to go with me. She she was just like my little play adopted play goddaughter or whatever. So that's just who I have been. That's who I am. That's what I stand on. I encourage y'all to be givers, to look for opportunities where you can, be a blessing. And like I say, it may not always be monetary. Sometimes it's your time. Sometimes it's your voice. Sometimes it's just a lending ear. You know what I'm saying? Even in my job that I do, my real job that I do, it's like I'm used in the same way, because I work with families. And so I'm there to help them and to assist them with things. It's not always monetary because the way our budget is set up, like, it's not always that we can, pay light bills or do this or pay for that, But whatever it is that we can do, I try to make sure that I have my eye on what I see they may need, where I see we can step in and do something. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's buy them lunch for the day, even if it's whatever it is, like, that's just how I am, And I love, especially if it's other people's money. Oh my goodness, other people's money, I'm sure nothing finna see how I can help some people with that. You know what I'm saying? So I like what I do. I like what the career that I'm in because I'm able to help so many people in that way. But then in my own personal life, listen, it's unmatched because, and a lot of times people like people don't know what you do. People don't know a lot of times who you really are, the ways that you make, the things that you make happen, the things that you do. If they don't really know that, they may see a lot of things that you have. They may see how you're blessed. But they don't have a clue how you may have pulled on God's heartstrings with some of the things you were doing. And that made God open that door for you. Or that made God pour out that monetary blessing for you. Or that made God give you, allow you to have favor with someone. And now you're able to do X, Y, and Z just on the strength of favor. You know what I'm saying? And I thought about like, should I do a video like telling this? But this, what I'm saying, like, this is like, this is not like this is something I tell people all of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do say that I'm a giver, but like to break things down and say, hey, I did this, I did that. Because in my mind, God see it. God know what I'm doing if nobody else ever know anything. God know. You know what I'm saying? But I just thought that I would share, just, some tidbits of some little things that I've done just because I would like to see other people, you know what I'm saying, doing the same thing. And I have some good friends who, like, listen, some of the stuff I do, I feel like it don't even, like, a match to some of the things they've shared with me that they do, And I love to hear it because I feel when I hear them saying, hey, I did this, that, or the third for these people, and I know those people, those ain't even their family members. They may not even know them people. It lets me know I'm in the right tribe. It lets me know that I'm surrounding myself with the right people, with like-minded people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like let me just encourage y'all. Try being a giver. It will take you a long ways, not for the sake of because it's coming back to you. Because it's coming back to you. You don't even have to worry about that. You don't have to think about how it's gonna come back. Don't even worry about that. That's covered. But think about how you can possibly change somebody's life. Think about how you can possibly, you know what I'm saying, feed them when they may not even eat that day. You know. And for me, sometimes it just be the surprise on a person's face that you, black woman, who you're not a celebrity, you're not anybody that they know, and you just showing up for them in that moment. I went into it's a crab place in Daytona that I like called Crab Nights, right? That's like I had another one in Orlando that I like, but Crab Nights, that's my favorite spot now as far as crabs, right? Went in there. It was they set me in a booth. It was a black couple. They was, doing their thing. And I was like, all right. I'm like, I'm gonna pay for their food. Now y'all already know, like when it comes to seafood boys and all that, y'all know that might be a little ticky. And it's two of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going in there by myself, dolo, but I'm finna eat whatever I want in here. So I pulled a waitress and I'm like, hey, bring me their ticket, but don't let them know. Because the thing is, I came in after them, but I already knew I was finna get down. I got down and I was finna get out. So I knew I was gonna be gone before them, but they was wrapping it up too, right? So I had the lady bring me their ticket. I don't even remember what it was, but paid for that, paid for mine. I'm out of here, And I'm really trying to hurry up and get out before, you know what I'm saying? But make sure you let them, you know what I'm saying? Like I made sure that she was, you know what I'm saying, letting them know, hey, it's already been taken care of, but I'm gone, So like when I say that warms my heart, like I was the little girl at Christmas, to be able to show people love like that. Because in my mind, they could have just won a lottery for all I know and enjoying themselves. But most people, they treating themselves because, hey, they might have a little extra to do it, or they might say, you know what, I get an extension on the light bill. I want us to go out and have a good time tonight and just ain't had no crowds in a long time. We'll figure it out. I don't know what their situation may be. So for me to be able to come in and just say, I love it when traded for the world. And that by no means am I, I'm not no rich person yet. None of that, yet. It'll come if that's God's will. But I'm going to give him. I'm going to always be that, just to show us he continue to do his big one. I'm going to continue to do my little ones until they become big ones. So y'all be encouraged. Enjoy your Saturday. Look for an opportunity to be a blessing, to show some love, to share something that you have. Like I say, whether it's, if you can't do it financially, share your lending ear. Share a shoulder to cry on. Share your voice. Share this video.